on machinery, crawler excavators, motor graders, and drum rollers. But the procurement of the equipment was not in the annual development plan. How then does that become a valid purchase? Does it mean that you wake up today and decide that now I'm going to spend 240 million of taxpayers' money?
Chairman, I think the acquisition of the heavy machinery was in line with the objective of construction of new roads and maintenance of existing roads in an efficient and effective manner as just one of the methods of implementation of the objective as by the CIDP. So the thinking here, Chair, because in our annual development plan, we had actually captured that we are constructing roads. But how was it to be done was not specified. So I want to agree with the committee that it should have been captured. But the thinking then was, because we are constructing roads, either you tender out or we do it using our own machinery, which we have to purchase, because in our CIDP we had indicated, and even in our annual development plans, that we are going to construct roads and maintain roads. But how was it to be done? Either you tender out or use your own equipment.
Governor, I disagree with that rationale. If it was 4 million, 3 million, you could get away with it. But 244 million is material. It's actually almost 5% of your total budget. 244 million.
Actually, Chairman, just to interject, 244 went to the procurement of crawler excavators, motor graders, and drum rollers. And if you look at 10.2, there is still additional heavy equipment for purposes of procurement of tippers and prime mover. That is 61.3. This question came in the previous audit, and I equally recall that the responses was similar to the one that Governor has just said. As to whether or not it was in the ADP, it's admitted it was not there. But then the county government went ahead, acquired them to the tune of over 300 million. It's 244 plus 61. And I can confirm as a resident of Bomet that it's got challenges. It has not achieved the objective that it was desired. To justify even the rationale the governor is saying, we had it in our plan but not specified. It is a subject that EACC is undertaking right now.
Was there professional opinion given on this procurement?
Yes, Chair, there was.
By the head of supply chain?
Yes.
Head of supply chain, it was your professional view that you could wake up outside the ADP and commit 250 million, 244 plus 10?
Thank you, Chair. I want to confirm to this committee that the procurement of this heavy equipment was in the procurement plan and the budget for Bomet County.
That is not the question. We are talking about the ADP. Is in the ADP the commitment that you have with the people that out of our CIDP 5-year, yes, this year, these are the things we are going to focus on. Isn't that what we are talking about?
Yes.
Is it an important document?
It is, yeah.
Does it go through public participation?
Yes, it is.
Does it go through the assembly?
Yes.
For approval?
Okay.
How then do you decide, after going through all those processes, to introduce 250 million in your procurement plan, in your budget, without that covenant with the people?
Chair, for the preparation of budget, maybe I can ask the CEO of budget to explain. Because what normally comes to procurement is the procurement plan and the approved budget.
So, Governor, this, you see, again, the recommendation was to EACC to investigate, and for the Kenya Institute of Supplies Management to take disciplinary action against the officer who gave a professional opinion on this. That was a recommendation, and EACC, I hope you have this also in your matrix. So we'll leave it to you. But then again, you can see that we are clogging the EACC unnecessarily with things that perhaps could have been explained at audit. So since that was the resolution of the committee, we'll leave it at that, and we'll get an update from EACC. Senator, you have also mentioned that you're aware investigations are ongoing. So you need to do something around your procurement practices. It's either, it is, unless you are the one who has designed it to fail. But from the look of things, it's going to invite a lot of queries and investigations.
Ninyon TV Kimiga.
We terminated the contractor who was doing that work because at some point, I think, maybe because of financial challenges, he could not complete.
It takes Bomet 6 years to complete a governor's house.
Sometimes you give contract to somebody probably thinking that he has the capacity or she has the capacity, and somehow along the line, probably...
Isn't that another symptom of failure with your procurement processes? Because it's the element of due diligence.
You know, they present very nice documentations, and when you visit some of the structures that they have completed, they look nice. And even there is a case of one contractor that you gave a preach. He did one excellent work, but when we gave him a second one, it got stalled along the line. So, you know, these things, sometimes you may not be very accurate in terms of looking at what has been done and determining the capacity of an individual.
You are in the same WhatsApp group with Turkana when it comes to building of governors' houses. Members, you know what I'm talking about. It has taken them long and very huge amounts of money. Kisumu has just built a residence for Governor Nyong'o at about 38 million. A very nice, neat residence, just within 1 year. So there's no reason why Bomet should be, from 2019 to date, unless the governor enjoys being paid or he enjoys living in lodgings and Airbnb and being paid for it.
Not receiving anything for that, Chair, maybe for record.
Members, we have a member of the speakers panel here, so he will not allow us to go too far. It's just because we started our meeting a little bit late. But we must deal with this thing of your wage bill. Governor, your wage bill is at 50% of your total revenues. Is that the case?
Correct, Chair.
Why is that the case?
Of course, probably I will talk of the measures to reduce, because that is the position. Because there are things that we cannot...
You see, as you talk of the measures to reduce,
yes,
you must also explain why it grew by 600 million in 1 year. Because you can't be telling us you are putting in measures to reduce, and yet your wage bill has grown by 600 million Kenya shillings in one financial year.
Chairman, when we came in, when I talked of coming in as my administration, we had a number of doctors that had not been confirmed to their position, and almost 90% of the health workers were on contract. So we confirmed them to those positions. We are not also confirmed the ECD teachers to their position. We confirmed them to their positions. And there have been a number of facilities that have been coming up in terms of health facilities. So every new facility means you have to employ new people to give services to the residents of Bomet.
So you grew by 5% in 1 year. I've not seen that kind of growth in any other county, who are also employing doctors, who are employing ECD, who are implementing CBAs. Yours was very steep, 600 million.
Probably, Chair, we need to confirm if that is a position with these other counties. Because I'll tell you, like in my county, I haven't had any strikes of doctors. That's not an accident. It means their demands have been met, including confirming them to those positions. Even when all the rest of the 46 counties were on strike, mine didn't strike.
Yes, that's a good story.
Chair, you must stop the governor there because doing a good job must be done within the law. You cannot say that you're doing better than other counties, and for that reason, then you are at liberty to operate outside legal provisions, because the 35% provision in law is not a suggestion. It is true that maybe there isn't a county that has met it, but I think what you should be telling us is whether you, from where you sit, you actually think that it's a realistic thing to do. Do you want to propose changes to the existing law, or what would be the way out? It's a problem to every county. You are already outside by more than 15%.
I agree, Senator Mbua, but what the chair was asking, why? I think because I wanted to give the way forward on how we...
I actually share Senator Mbua's concern. Because yes, you can tell us how your doctors are happy, but development is crying. Development is suffering. There's a passage on that here, inadequate allocation to development. So, people of Bomet are not getting development because half the money goes to salaries. And I believe another 10% goes to the county assembly. Only 40% of the money that we are fighting for from Nairobi goes to actual implementation of projects. So even if doctors are happy, the rest of the residents of Bomet are not happy. They are not getting their share of development as envisaged in the law. Now, members,
because you are there, what it means is the doctors could be happy, but there are no medicine in the hospitals. That's what it could mean. That you're spending a lot more money on paying wages and salaries to doctors, and you're left with very little to purchase medicine for the people.
Those are some of the challenges that we are facing. But maybe just for the record, Chair, for development, I think this financial year we have 34%, which is above the minimum that has been set. So, which is also an indication that we are not ignoring that part of...
We'll let the auditor report to us on that, because the maths is not adding up. If you're already on 50% on salaries and 10% on assembly, if you're saying 34% is going to development, it means that only 6% is going to operations, which is impractical. So in terms of fiscal responsibility, your county is fiscally irresponsible. And if we had the old formula, we would have punished you by withdrawing some equitable share from Bomet. And I think there's a conversation by members of the Senate that we should reintroduce it to provide an incentive for counties to do the right thing. Could I, because time will not allow us, the residual issues in this long report, we have already agreed with the Auditor General that they'll find their way in the current year audit report. When it comes to the receiver of revenue, Auditor, you will need to advise us whether this receiver of revenue report is professionally rendered and whether it is something that the Senate should consider. Ab initio, let's look at it. Was it prepared by an accountant, the receiver of revenue report? Auditor? Was that report prepared by an accountant? Can you tell whether it was prepared by someone with the right professional qualification and with the right professional responsibility?
Chair, the officer did not write his or her ISPAC number.
So, are you able to tell whether this has been prepared by a professional? If a doctor got an X-ray report that is unattributed, should the doctor go ahead and prescribe on the basis of an X-ray report whose source is not verifiable?
No.
So what do we make of this ROR because we must point out these things. Our job is not academic. We have 238 million shillings here, which is a drop of 6 million. Instead of revenue growing, revenue is dropping. And then you bring us a report that is not owned and not signed by someone who bears a professional responsibility. This tells us that this is a looting, on-source revenue could be a looting spree. Why should we, Governor, why should we even waste time discussing this report? You are a professor, aren't you?
Yes, Chair.
There are things professors can do which persons with masters cannot do, isn't it? In the academic world.
Yes.
There are things members of ISPAC and qualified accountants can do which advocates cannot do.
Correct.
In preparation of financial statements, which profession bears that responsibility?
It would have been the accountants.
So tell me, which of these people is a professional with that responsibility and sworn to a code of conduct?
Can give to my CEO of Finance to respond to that.
And we don't want stories. Just tell us precisely that this report was prepared by ISPAC member number XYZ. Or it was prepared by the driver to the CEO, because that's also possible.
Thank you, Chair. The report was prepared by the Director of Revenue. He's an accountant, but I'm yet to check his ISPAC number.
Where is that Director of Revenue? Where is the Receiver of Revenue?
I'm not here.
The Receiver of Revenue is not here. And you came to discuss the report of the Receiver of Revenue. Governor, how do you discuss the report of the Receiver of Revenue without the Receiver of Revenue?
He was informed, but I'm not sure why he's not here.
Who's the CEO of Bomet County Government?
The governor.
You didn't carry your attorney, there are legal questions. You didn't carry a Receiver of Revenue, we have financial statements that just indicate serious problems. How do you explain revenue dropping from 244 million to 238 million? Now that you're the CEO, can you explain to us? Because it's an upward trend elsewhere.
Of course, the Receiver of Revenue should have been here to explain that.
You did bring him, so you take responsibility. How did revenue drop from 244 to 238? Are you collecting and pocketing?
Not really, Chair. Maybe my CC Finance.
What other explanation could there be? I do not see, I go through Bomet every other week, a beautiful county, endowed by nature, very hardworking people. People of Bomet are very hardworking. How then can revenue, on-source revenue, be dropping?
Okay, CC Finance, yes.
Thank you, Chair. I think I want to, the question you've asked is the drop in revenue. So we were not able to collect as we had anticipated, but we have, that is for the year 2024. But we have
a target for that year.
For that year it was 332. Yes, then we collected 238. So
100 million off the mark.
Yes, we couldn't.
And I heard the governor speak earlier, the way he was optimizing on-source revenue to balance spending bills and all that, not knowing that his on-source revenue has dropped. If you take away hospital fees, you're only collecting 100 million. 100 million. A county as rich as Bomet, if you do a comparison with neighboring counties, I don't know, maybe Nandi, maybe Kericho could be bigger, could be having a bigger agricultural base. There is no way Homa Bay County, which is one of your neighboring counties, could be on 1.2 billion and Bomet is on 200 million, which is dropping. Who is stealing from the public in Bomet? Governor.
Chairman, we have put measures in place, and that is why I was very confident that we'll be able to collect more. And other measures, including for we were using one revenue system, but they had some of the modules had issues.
Who chose the revenue system for Bomet?
We had advertised it was open tender.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so you chose it.
Yes.
And you are involved in building it, customizing it, testing it, deploying it. Who then do you blame for modules not working?
Of course, we have to blame ourselves for that. But
I wish we had time. I wish we had time.
Chair, that's okay. Just two things from me. Governor, on that issue of our systems for collecting revenue, we have been here long enough. And we've had those conversations from your colleagues. So you procure a system, spend X amounts of money, a year or two down the line, you decide it's not working, procure another one. Another 2 years, it's not working, procure another one. It is very telling. And this I must say to the people of Bomet. It's very, very telling that you have come to appear before the Senate with
Nenyon TV Kimiga.
Boyetab familia age tugul ko yon miten got tuguk che kororon cheu ng'echerok, mesosiek, kitandok, cupboards, wardrobes, koboto kitchen cabinet kobun Froch Furnitures. Kimiten kap tebeswet en Kericho, en oret neo nebo Kericho kotokyingei Kisumu. Ibwat ile en Froch Furnitures inyoru designs cheterter che kororon chebo ng'echerok, kitandok, mesosiek, kitchen cabinet ak wardrobes. En Froch Furnitures kora kimang'u designs cheterter chebo mesosiek cheboto coffee tables ak ng'echerok cheimuch iboisien en kaa, office anan ko sukul. Kitinye furnitures che kokechop anan ready-made anan ko design age tugul nekichobun nekemach. Rutechech rani asikobit iboiboenji tuguk cheterter chekimongu en Froch Furnitures. Kora ibirwech simoit en number 0723 954077.
And in fact, this, you gave them a qualified opinion. You gave them a qualified opinion for financial statements whose signatory you don't know. How do you know the owner of this signature? Look, when were they approved?
Yeah, I'll need to look at the copies which were given before that. But again, we must have taken details of names from the Roman page 5. Item 2, key entity information and management, where we have the head of revenue reporting as Langat Zefani.
No, just go back to where the material disclosures are. Statement of receipts and disbursements. Yes. At the bottom, county receiver of revenue. You've got a scribble there is no name. Next, head of revenue reporting, a scribble without a name, without an ISPAC number. On which date were they approved? Governor, on which date?
November.
This is your report. On which date were these ROR statements approved?
22nd November.
No. It's the governor's report.
Sorry.
It's indicated as 20 from the stamp. It's 27 November.
Now, up there, the accounting policies and explanatory notes to these revenue statements form an integral part of the revenue statements. These revenue statements were approved on dash 2024. What is there in the dash? What is that there in the dash?
It's not indicated, Chair.
Governor, can you, as a professor heading account as a government, do you accept this? Would you accept this? Please, let's run county governments with some seriousness. And you must, and it's telling that the ROR is not here. And I believe it is deliberate. He or she is running away. Could we get the name of the receiver of revenue so that we can capture that in our report? What's the name of the receiver of revenue?
Mr. Korir.
Full name. We want the full name.
Thomas Korir.
Thomas Korir. Clerks, can you capture that? Because if the receiver of revenue cannot come to present on the report of the receiver of revenue, that receiver of revenue has no business being in office. If this report has not been properly signed, that receiver of revenue is failing. If revenue is dropping, the receiver of revenue is incompetent. If systems that you chose are not working now, the receiver of revenue is unfit to hold public office. Patrick, there is a section in the Public Audit Act where we have the power to declare someone unfit to hold public office. This is it. We are going to declare, what was the name? Thomas Korir, unfit to hold public office. We have rarely used that provision, but it is there in the Public Audit Act. This is one classical example. Unless, Wakili, you appeal for clemency, but that is a position of the law.
I will be guided by the chair, and of course, as the senator from the County of Bomet, such glaring discrepancies and deliberate, leaving behind responsible personnel tells of either an option to avoid responding and get excuses and buy more time, or the incompetence that is exposed across the entirety of the departments.
So, due to limitations of time, you had indicated that we are voting on a very important instrument for the county governments. We cannot miss that vote because, despite all these challenges, we are still committed to making sure that devolution works. We don't send money to these rogue officers. We send money to the people of Bomet. If that be the case, do we have
The journey continues. Every contribution counts, from the player on the field to the fans in the stands, and even our journalists telling our stories to the world. We aim to recognize, appreciate, and empower your dreams through providing part of support you need to achieve your dreams. Introducing Tujiamini. Let's believe in ourselves.
Table committee, and we have learned a lot. It's also a session that we are all learning. Thank you so much, Chair.
Senator Wakili, we'll donate our time to you for closing remarks.
Thank you, Chairman, for that gracious opportunity you've given me. Once again, I want to appreciate this committee for according the county government of Bomet an opportunity to be taken through the reports that we've all seen. And Mr. Chair, I want to appreciate you for being very particular in terms of reaching out to the county government, the team, in areas which the law has been completely flouted. Procurement, you've seen the reports have been recurring. It is not in this present financial year, not in the previous, it's been long outstanding. It points at a non-commitment of some sort on the part of those who are in office to make sure that they comply. Secondly, Chairman, the last aspect that we've just dealt with, the revenue collection, it doesn't take the governor to ensure that the team that is responsible for every department is present when such very important occasion has been called upon by the Senate. There's no explanation given, and I don't think, Governor, the revenue person expected you to call him to come and do his job. It tells of a complete, fail in terms of the structure of administration, to the extent that the person who is supposed to sign a report is avoiding including his name in the report because he does not want to take responsibility. And unfortunately, you are the CEO of the county. You take responsibility for your incompetent staff, for those who are doing the work that they are not supposed to do and intentionally leaving out their names. If you want to go take action, it's up to you because you are the CEO. You take responsibility. This committee, I believe, Chairman, will also undertake what it is supposed to take. And I want to agree with you that you exercise and invoke the provisions of the law that allows you to declare certain officers unfit to hold office so that it becomes a lesson for those who are holding offices, because these offices we are holding are not for us. They are in trust for the benefit of the public. We're going back right now to go and vote to give additional funds to the county governments. If we are sending that money to be administered by such incompetent officers, you can imagine what pain we are going through as a Senate, because unfortunately we have got to do it for the rest of the counties and for the rest of the Kenyans who are keen on receiving this money. But I hope, as the governor has committed, he will go and crack the whip where it is necessary. And it is not because of personal issues, it's because of these issues that have been raised. We need services. The issue on the 34% that governor said, which goes into recurrent expenditure, definitely it's not adding up. But I hope you will also work out, avoid additional recruitment, which I hear you're planning to do. It doesn't make good of your effort to reduce on a recurrent expenditure and you going ahead to include a plan to have additional recruitments. But otherwise, Chairman, I know we will still be coming here once again. I want to appreciate you for giving me, donating me the time to make those closing remarks. And I look forward to implementation of a number of those proposals which have been made, including the investigations which are going on by the EACC. And lastly, the Office of the Auditor, yes, OAG. I tend to have a feeling that some of these things should not get here. Senator Wambua made reference to the fact that we are not supposed to be doing your job. There are certain things that should be, should be stopped at your level. Kindly ensure that you do your job also, because by doing the right thing, by avoiding certain compromises that allows you to accept documentation which does not add up, it reduces the work that gets into committee, it reduces the burden that goes to EACC. It also helps the governor and his team to correct early enough where there are challenges that have been noted by office. Otherwise, if we don't do it, we will always be clocking our offices and avoid progress in what we are supposed to do. Chairman, thank you, and I donate back the time to you.
Thank you.
Chair, maybe just a correction of name. The receiver of revenue in the financial year under review is not Thomas Korit, but David Punei.
David
Punei.
And who is the accountant who is alleged to have signed the report?
The head of revenue reporting is Langat Safania.
How do you know no name and ISPAC number has been put there? Does that signature tell anything?
Was not Chair without the name.
So who was supposed to have signed it? Who was supposed to have co-signed it? Because we are indicting both of them, declaring both of them unfit to hold public office. And for the accountant, we are referring that accountant to ISPAC. What is the name?
Chairman, it's surprising that the governor does not know the person who is collecting his revenue. And surprisingly still, the CEC for finance, you should be able to know your people. I mean, this is embarrassing.
Sorry, Chair. I think we have said for the year under review, that is 2023-24, the receiver of revenue was David Bonin and the accountant Zephania Langat.
Zephania Langat.
Langat, yes.
Clerks, take note of those names. We shall deal with them accordingly.
Did they leave?
Yes.
Or they are still in the county government?
They are still there.
Now, there are a number of issues that we did not deliberate on, and I think if you are to speak to the people of Bomet and those who are following these proceedings, what we did address is not going to disappear. They will appear as prior year issues in the audit report that the OAG is doing. We expect that by 31st of December, the OAG will table their report, and Governor, in the month of January, we shall call you again. So whatever it is that we have not addressed, we'll address them when we are looking at the 2024-2025 audit report. The auditor reports that they have done the exit. So I hope that this time round, we are going to see a better report. We are not going to see the embarrassments that we are seeing here on the ROR, and we are going to see a report that is reflective of the stature and the professionalism of the person who's leading the county government of Bomet. So we will adjourn at this point to allow us to go to the chamber to vote so that county governments can get money to do the right things, not some of the things you have seen here. The meeting is therefore adjourned. We'll meet again on Thursday.
Familia age tugul ko yo miten got tuguk che kororon cheu ng'echerok, mesosiek, kitandok, cupboards, wardrobes, koboto kitchen cabinet kobun Froch Furnitures. Kimiten kap tebeswet en Kericho, en oret neo nebo Kericho kotokyingei Kisumu. Ibwat ile en Froch Furnitures inyoru designs cheterter che kororon chebo ng'echerok, kitandok, mesosiek, kitchen cabinet ak wardrobes. En Froch Furnitures kora kimang'u designs cheterter chebo mesosiek cheboto coffee tables ak ng'echerok cheimuch iboisien en kaa, office anan ko sugul. Kitinye furnitures chekokechop anan ready-made anan ko design age tugul nekichobun nekemach. Rutechech rani asikobit iboiboenji tuguk cheterter chekimang'u en Froch Furnitures. Kora ibirwech simoit en number 0723 954077.
Nenyon TV Kimiga.